you the ultimate way AI workflows. First of all, today I have a special video for you because we'll be combining several AI techniques to show you the ultimate way to learn new skills. Today I have a special video for you because we'll be combining several AI techniques to show you the ultimate way to learn new skills powered by free AI workflows. First of all, I consider this workflow a legitimate superpower when it comes to learning about new concepts, but this wasn't possible a few months ago.
I like this. So you know the reason I like this, again, this show is about sharing you information that you probably have seen on the internet already, but I'm like your AI police, right? So as an AI police, what I've been seeing is a lot of junk and janky tools and janky ideas, but are not very thought through, right? So yeah, let's dive into this. I like this. I just want to see what he's gonna say here. If it's rubbish, we go off on him. If it's not,
you'll see 2 of the free steps we'll be taking here weren't even available before summer. Secondly, all of this is super accessible. We'll be using free tools, and even on the first step, we'll be building a custom AI tutor.
Okay, I'm just gonna go back to what
you'll see 2 of the free steps we'll be taking here weren't even available before summer. Secondly, all of this is super.
Okay, so I'm going to increase the volume there just so that in case you don't hear what he's saying, the volume is very high. All right, great.
Super accessible. We'll be using free tools, and even on the first step, we'll be building a custom AI tutor. I'll show you a workflow how to do this, even though you might not have a ChatGPT Plus account. You can do this inside of the free version of any LLM. And
I like that. Again, you want to build tools that are flexible, that you can use in different kind of LLMs, right? A lot of people build tools for ChatGPT, or build tools for Claude, or build tools for, Llama, whatever it is.
lastly, you can always take this workflow apart and only use a specific part to your own needs. So what are we about to do? First up, we'll build a custom AI tutor specialized to your own needs and your own interests. Secondly, we'll be using advanced voice mode to bring this tutor to life on your phone to assist you. This is the one step that does require a ChatGPT Plus subscription, but it's totally optional. Otherwise, you can just talk to the tutor via text. And then lastly, I'll show you how to curate your own knowledge library with all the knowledge that you might have encountered while learning, including what the tutor taught you. And from that knowledge library, we'll be generating audio podcasts for you to return to those concepts so that not just the learning with the tutor will be interactive, but then also returning to some of these concepts will be a little more exciting and engaging than, for example, reading a textbook. All right, let's get started. And all the...
I agree. I think that makes sense because versus textbooks, I don't think I have any affinity to textbooks anymore. The usefulness of them, the speed with which I can pull back and go into certain texts, the relevance of it is very low. So I understand where it's coming from, right? But I think there's this particular solution, I think there's a way that you could go through it, right? You could go through it and it becomes redundant at some point. So it's not like a silver bullet situation.
The resources and links you will need are linked in the description below. Okay, so we will start our learning journey inside of ChatGPT, but you can use any LLM like Claude, Gemini, or whatever it might be. GPT Builder, where I pre-saved this big prompt inside of it. This makes it really simple as I can just click let's build a GPT and we'll start building our custom tutor right away. If you want to use a different LLM or do this in a chat of your own, you can do the following. We published an article in the public area of our community. This is completely free. You can just go to the link in the description and you can copy this entire GPT Builder prompt here into a brand new chat.
Okay, so I think I'm going to give you the link to that, and it looks like he is basically trying to give us that
light. So once send the prompt, you will arrive at the same point as with the custom GPT builder I made. Now that's step one. For step number two, I want you to copy paste this little prompt from the description of this video. It is very simple, and that's fine because a lot of the complex prompting has been done inside of the GPT builder prompt. All you need to do here is specify these two variables, the subject and the number of years of your target audience. So let's have a look at this. I want the GPT to be a customized tutor specifically designed to help the user with a subject or concept. So you need to specify this right here. For example, here we'll assume that the user is learning programming. So right here, I'll just say help the user with learning Python. And then the user is number of years old. Let's just say 18, as this strikes a nice balance between simplicity and in-depth information. But if you really want to make this...
I like that. I think for me, what I would usually do is I would say the level of their education. So because 18, 17 is arbitrary, right? 27 can be old, but it's probably still reading at a particular elementary level, right? And maybe if you're 27, but you were exposed to a lot of education, you're probably reading at university level, right? So you probably, maybe the age, yes, but probably you could take that to say, oh, what's their education level like?
tutor more simplistic, then I would offer something like 12 or 14 years, as it will really simplify down some of the concepts at the price of leaving out some details that it might give to an adult. Okay, very simple. Now I hit enter and it will build a custom tutor for me right after asking me a few more questions. Now look, I set this up in a way where you don't have to answer these. If you're lazy and you just want a quick tutor, you can just type auto here, as I outline here at the bottom, and it will automatically answer all 5 of these questions. Now, if you go ahead and actually answer them like so, and specify if you want it to be a patient mentor or a problem-solving partner or a mix of both, I think I want a patient mentor here. Then number 2, I say a mix of all of them, and so on. The more details you give it, the more customized your tutor will be here. And
you know, I like this. I like the fact that, so, because a lot of times you have a situation where it's basically just adding parameters so that you can make this very useful. So I like that. I like that. So roll and go, response format, creativity level, constraints, and guidelines. I like that.
In case of the tutorial, I will just say auto as I'm feeling a bit lazy and I want to move forward with the tutorial, and it starts building the entire Python tutor GPT for you. And just like the original prompt, the beautiful thing about this is that this will work inside of any LLM. I can just copy everything here from the communication sequence all the way to the bottom of these instructions, and I have a custom tutor set up. Now the builder is set up in a way where it also creates a title, a description, and even a profile picture that you could now download and use as the profile picture of your GPT, just like I have done here with the custom GPT builder. But for this concrete example, let's just copy this and head on over to Claude and use this tutor inside of Claude like so. And that's it. I just copy paste into here, and this is my custom AI tutor that will assist me in learning anything. Sure, it might give you a little.
I like this video. He has also shown us that, oh, this also works in other contexts. So another LLM, which is Claude. I love Claude for so many reasons. I love Claude because it's just, the quality is just so obvious right off the bat that it's better than ChatGPT. I'm not sure what it is right now. I think that was 2 months ago, right? That I tested that.
Disclaimer that this is Claude and not a GPT. That's because of this block. Except for this little disclaimer, there will be no change in its behavior. Now, in this tutorial, I won't be going into all the little intricacies of the tutor that we have built here, but as you can see, there's various blocks here, like it offering practice scenarios to help users apply concepts, or it sometimes comes up with interactive learning modules, and it leans into the image processing or the interpretation tools that the LLM might have. Some of these might seem useless, but in certain scenarios, you actually really want this, as it acts as a reminder for LLM that it can and should use some of these tools to help the user learn. Now, that's fantastic. I did a lot of explaining here, but at the end of the day, all you need to do is start this GPT builder, share the prompt in the description where you change 2 words, and I can skip all the questions by simply typing auto, and there you go. I have a custom tutor for whatever I want. There you go. Excellent, right? And now that I have this tutor inside of your journey doesn't end here. This is how to set it up to be an assistant, right? I really want to show you 2 more things that will be super helpful on your journey to learning anything. One of them is the fact that you could totally take the system prompt for your AI tutor and you could throw it into the second part of your custom instructions inside of ChatGPT. That might be too long, so what you can do is leave out the communication sequence in the first part of the instructions. Just take these various building blocks here at the bottom.
Okay, I like this. So basically, you know, what is done here is
bottom that it created. And once you put this into the custom instructions, like so, there you go, the LLM starts. Now what you could do is you could switch over to your phone and use the advanced voice modes to interact with your tutor. So if I open up a new chat, my custom instructions are set up.
I like that. So the first thing I did so just recently I was able to like create a GPT, very easy from the, you know, from the GPT interface. So it's basically at the point where you want to change something in your profile. I think your profile page or profile section, you can click on that, create your custom GPT. It's just like 3 things you need to enter, 4 things you need to enter, and you are good. So everything you extract from here, what it's saying is that you're able to put it in that section of things, and I think you're ready to go.
And I can just activate the advanced voice mode and have this set up.
And by the way, in terms of experience, it's really fast. Like once you put in everything it's put in, the thing just generates, you know, the ChatGPT, your ChatGPT for you, and then you can upload a logo to just differentiate it, and you can give it a description so that users can know what you're actually using.
It on my desk as I learn, as I practice. Hey, what's up?
Hey there, how's it going?
I'm just trying to learn Selenium right now.
That's great. Selenium is a powerful tool for automating web browsers. Are you working on any specific projects with it, or just getting started with learning the basics?
I'm working on a specific project, but just sit here in the background. I'll speak to you as soon as I need you.
Got it. I'll be here when you're ready. Just give me a shout.
I mean, so I like this. I like the idea. I like what it stands for. A lot of people can build specific GPTs for different things, and it helps the tone, you know, or your GPT to be very specific or niche to what you're trying to do, right? And nothing outside that. So it's not too, you know, all over the place. The only criticism I have for this is that right now, by the way, is that when you build a GPT, right, are you building a GPT that would have had a lot of value, or you're building a GPT that's just custom? So what I mean by that is you want to build a GPT that can take your learning experience multiple levels qualitatively, and not just, oh, I'm a GPT that's only meant for this particular thing. That's all. That's not the best use case of a custom GPT. A custom GPT should be able to even go into pockets of knowledge or areas that you did not necessarily predict for it to go into in the beginning, right? And so the restriction is good because it makes you focus on one particular thing, right? Make the GPT focus on one particular thing, but it should also be extreme. You should be able to go deep into those topics. And that's where a lot of value be in, right? And probably that's where you should be able to tell it. That's why we should be able to tell it in the description, or when you're creating your GPT, that this is what you should do, so we can go deeper into these topics. And now I think GPTs have access to the internet, so they should be able to do that, right? They should be able to, you should be able to find certain websites and give it this website so that it's able to scrape, find hyper-specific information that is very useful for the user. So if you want, for example, your GPT to be able to also extract people's opinions, thoughts, niche ideas from Reddit, for example, tell it to go to Reddit, go to specific subreddits, because the GPT typically will not do that, right? So you are telling it, because you have that knowledge that you can find very niche, amazing ideas on Reddit that probably has been buried by other comments. Go to this particular subreddit and go find this particular thing. I think that's one thing I really like about Perplexity, because it just helps me to research social context. I can research from Twitter, from Reddit, from whatever websites it is. And, being able to script from other websites and bring it into my research flow, right? Perfect. That's why I love Perplexity. But yeah, let's go on.
And that's it. Now you could place your new personalized tutor on your desk and speak to it as soon as you want to. No need to prompt ChatGPT, no need to do anything. You're just doing your thing, and your AI tutor is sitting on your desk waiting to help you. Two minor notes on this. One of them is that if you set this up on desktop, I would just quickly double check that the custom instructions under personalization are activated. Sometimes the screen is grayed out after you copy them over, and you just go to settings and then personalization, customize ChatGPT, and that makes it work. It's just a desktop to app thing. And secondly, there is a limit on the voice assistant, as we talked about in previous videos, just focusing on the voice assistant. It varies. For some people, it's an hour, sometimes it's 2 hours. But as of today, you won't be able to run this for 24 hours. Just be aware of that. But once you're done experimenting, there's actually a final step that will really help you lock in these concepts, and that's engaging with the material.
I mean, at this point, it's giving us so much value. So this final step, I don't know what it's going to give us, but already with what I've said, I think there's a lot of value you can get from that. The way it's built is good, but if you add it to what I was talking about, like also try to hyper specify what the LLM should be able to do, or where you should go to look for information, and those kind of things.
After your initial learning session. It's refreshing all the memories and experiences you made, and there's an incredible way to do that with AI, and it could be any simple. This is what I want to end this video on, because look at that. We had this little chat inside of Claude where it came up with the various code, and maybe this conversation went on even further, and there's a whole lot there. You're not going to be returning and reading that conversation ever. It's software from Google Next. That's what we'll do in this case. So what I'll do here is I'll just copy my entire conversation with Claude, including the code. How about that? Just say copy on this, and here inside of Notebook LM with a free account, I'll just paste the copy text right here. Wonderful. So as you can see here on the left, I have my pasted text as the source. You could extend this, right? If you have YouTube videos that you watch that you thought were really valuable, guess what? You go in here and you add the YouTube link in here. If you have a PDF or a scientific paper that you want to add to your sources, you can do that too.
Yeah, this is I'm going to have a specific episode of just reviewing Notebook LLM, but I think it's one of the most groundbreaking, amazing ideas that you can ever have, especially if you're a YouTuber, if you're someone that has a community, or someone that's trying to build a faceless account. I think there is so much value from like just taking what Notebook LLM is doing, right? And you are able to like dig deep into it and create value, right? So for example, I've seen people to take this Notebook LLM, you give it a topic, or you give it a YouTube video, or you give it like a text, whatever it is, and then you feed it that text, and then it gives you two voices talking about it like a podcast, and you generate like, maybe like two talking heads back to back, and they talk about it, and you put it out there. Love the process, right? My only review for it is that they talk a lot, and so it's good if you're trying to get if there's a topic you're trying to go into, but it's a little bit hard because like maybe the topic is you need a way to wet your tongue around the topic, or you want to step into it slowly. What Notebook LLM is very good at doing is it takes these two voices that are discovering or exploring that topic, and what they're doing is they're just passing the conversation to each other, and they're just like they have these intonations, they're talking so excited about the topic. That's what Notebook LLM is good for. They are, by the way, they are always excited about the topic. They try as much as possible to distill it to the basics. So these podcasters are finishing each other's language, right, one to one, finishing each other's sentences, and they do a very good job of breaking it down. So like sometimes you can see one of the podcasters, the AI podcasters, take a concept, break it down. The other podcaster then takes and say, you know what, does it sound like something? So what they're doing is like, you're trying to find analogies in the world, trying to find similar things in the world that'll give you a sense of, oh, that's what it means, right? So they are good explainers. They are extremely good explainers. It's just like saying they are like School of Life on steroids, right? School of Life on steroids. If School of Life was an AI voice and it's just on steroids, because they then have like, they're very exciting and fun, and like they're laughing and they're giggling like it's a podcast, right? And yeah, I love it.
Pro tip is that if you have a textbook and there's some concept in there, you can take a picture of that, throw that into Claude or ChatGPT and have it describe the picture. Then you take the text, put it into your notebook, and basically you can turn this into your learning knowledge base. Everything that is relevant that you looked at, you can put in here. And once you do that, there's this function of generating.
Okay, by the way, tip. What I use Notebook LLM for is not even all of this. I think what I use it for the most is, and I enjoy the most is that, you see here, you can see the FAQ, study guide, table of content, timeline, briefing doc. You can generate all those kind of things from whatever conversation you give it. So if you give it like a very complex research paper, or you give it like a very complex whatever it is, it can generate all the things for you. But apart from that, what it also does is that it transcribes the content of the document for me. So I think 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I was trying to transcribe a long audio, and I extracted the MP3 or the WAV file, and I was looking for a service that would transcribe it for me, but I couldn't find a good one. So I just sent it to Notebook LLM and did the transcription, and then generated the voice on the side. So free transcription. That's what Notebook LLM does the most for me. I enjoy it so much.
A podcast, which will be a conversation between two AIs rehashing all the summaries of your sources. It's the perfect way to refresh your mind on what you touched on all of these conversations that you would not be returning to otherwise. Then it's free. You simply have to click generate here on the audio overview, and you will have a little podcast that you can then download, listen to in your car, listen to in the subway while going for a walk, or maybe you'll just kick up your feet on the couch and listen to a conversation between two people talking about all the concepts that you were just learning about. All right, so here's our example podcast. Check this out.
All right, let's do this. Ready for a deep dive? Today, we're taking you into the world of Python and web scraping.
Web scraping, huh?
Yeah. Specifically with a tool called Selenium. I bet you're here because you want to know how to actually use this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Not just the theory. You want to be able to grab data from
basically how
websites,
it
like a pro.
sounds.
Exactly.
It's like having a secret decoder ring for the internet.
I like that, a secret decoder ring.
Amazing. Just a completely different way to take in the info than just reading. Plus, you can chat with all the data here too.
Exactly. So that's what I would describe it as. That's a completely different way to take in info. You don't have the time to read every time, or you don't have the patience to dive into, or the mental fortitude to dive into a very hard topic all the time with the same strength. So sometimes you just want something really, really broken down. And some text can be very annoying. Technically, they could have written it better. So yeah, that's the advantage.
With it, suggest follow-up prompts that can be also helpful. But I think this audio overview is just a killer feature here. This is something that was not possible a few months ago, not at this quality level. This combination of building a custom AI assistant, running it with ChatGPT's advanced voice mode, and then returning to all those concepts by listening to a custom created podcast. In my book, is a legit superpower when it comes to learning about new concepts. And here's a bonus step that you can incorporate in your learning.